went on to win that fight. I wonder if David Haye has got this one right. Well, here's a spectacular entrance on which they spent so much money. David Haye was late for the press conference. Wladimir Klitschko described him and referred to him as Princess then. I wonder what he's thinking of referring to him by now.
David looks as though he's actually singing on the way into the ring here. I can only remember Evander Holyfield doing that. I think he did that for spiritual uplift. I don't know if David is just putting on one of his many shows, but look at the smile. Look how relaxed he looks. Yep, there he goes, singing his way to the ring.
He is loving every moment of it. A natural showman, loves the spotlight. And this is a spectacular entrance. So many British fans trying to get close, trying to get a view. Haye with the heavies around him. Not too far away from the ring now. What a spectacular entrance. We've had to wait. Haye still looks as though he is milking the moment.
Yeah, but the fans is becoming a little bit violent. I hope they have enough security around David, because it seemed as though he was hassled and bumped, you know, out of his stride there. So I don't know if they have quite enough security around them. Don't like this. David's smile is gone. He looks a little bit upset. That really it was a bad mistake in security. It looks as though they did not have anything like the number of security around them they should have had. They're not used to this in Germany.
Jostled as he made his way to the ring. And the happy smile disappeared momentarily, didn't it? Despite the fact he's got two man-mountain minders by his side. Rode out the storm now, getting close to business time, and then there'll be what we're told is going to be a spectacular ring entrance for Wladimir Klitschko. But there he is on the ring apron. The rain has continued to fall. We've got a new ring canvas there. The boots have been protected by those plastic bags, and here is the WBA champion of the world. Itself protected by a huge canopy. Fans at ringside and the fighters themselves protected from the elements. And still they wait for David Haye as he stands on the ring apron to actually deign to step through into the fighting area.
Yeah, it just seems that he wants to control every last second of this occasion that he can do. The one thing I have noticed that the ring is a 20-foot ring, but the top rope doesn't look all that high up, considering we have two massive heavyweights at the moment. We certainly have one massive heavyweight. So I'm just worried that maybe someone could actually go over the top rope. It looks like it's a small ring. This also looks like a low ring.
Well, in a moment we will hear again from Michael Buffer. And then it will be Klitschko.
The IBF WBO IBO champion is ready. What will be his statement? Here is the answer from Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
The crowd, so many of them on their feet. Most of them cheering. The spotlight spectacular across the Imtech Arena. The music throbs. And Wladimir Klitschko in search of his 50th knockout tonight. WBO, IBF and IBO champion of the world. How much will he have been fazed by what has happened, or will he still be cool, calm and collected?
Das T-Shirt, das war geschmacklos. Dieser junge Mann ist einfach nicht reif als Mann und nicht reif noch als Boxer.
Shame on you, man. The new, shame on the new heavyweight champion of the world, the Haymaker. Shame on you.
werde ihn nicht nur besiegen, ich werde ihn bestrafen.
David Haye, hello. Whatsoever, no respect.
I will knock out Wladimir Klitschko.
David Haye is gonna be my 50th knockout. Das wird meine 50. Knockout-Sieg am 2. Juli.
Boy, this is going to be an exciting fight. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I go and take my brother.
Making Marco Antonio Barrera wait for his ring entrance. Barrera went on to win that fight. I wonder if David Haye has got this one right. Well, here's a spectacular entrance on which they spent so much money. David Haye was late for the press conference. Wladimir Klitschko described him and referred to him as Princess then. I wonder what he's thinking of referring to him by now.
David looks as though he's actually signing on the way into the ring here. I can only remember Evander Holyfield doing that. I think he did that for spiritual uplift. I don't know if David is just putting on one of his many shows, but look at the smile. Look how relaxed he looks. Yep, there he goes, singing his way to the ring.
He is loving every moment of it. A natural showman, loves the spotlight. And this is a spectacular entrance. So many British fans trying to get close, trying to get a view. Haye with the heavies around him. Not too far away from the ring now. What a spectacular entrance. They've had to wait. Haye still looks as though he is milking the moment.
Yeah, but the fans is becoming a little bit violent. I hope they have enough security around David, because it seemed as though he was hassled and bumped, you know, out of his stride there. So I don't know if they have quite enough security around them. Don't like this. David's smile is gone. He looks a little bit upset. That really was a bad mistake in security. It looks as though they did not have anything like the number of security around them they should have had. They're not used to this in Germany.
Jostled as he made his way to the ring. And the happy smile disappeared momentarily, didn't it? Despite the fact he's got two man-mountain minders by his side. Rode out the storm now, getting close to business time, and then there'll be what we're told is going to be a spectacular ring entrance for Wladimir Klitschko. But there he is on the ring apron. The rain has continued to fall. We've got a new ring canvas there. The boots have been protected by those plastic bags. And here is the WBA champion of the world. The ring itself protected by a huge canopy. Fans at ringside and the fighters themselves protected from the elements. And still they wait for David Haye as he stands on the ring apron to actually deign to step through into the fighting area.
Yeah, it just seems that he wants to control every last second of this occasion that he can do. The one thing I have noticed that the ring is a 20-foot ring, but the top rope doesn't look all that high up, considering we have two massive heavyweights at the moment. Certainly have one massive heavyweight. So I'm just worried that maybe someone could actually go over the top rope. It looks like a low, it's a small ring. This also looks like a low ring.
Well, in a moment we will hear again from Michael Buffer. And then it will be Klitschko.
And now, the IBF WBO IBO champion is ready. What will be his statement? Here is the answer from Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
many of them on their feet, most of them cheering. The spotlight spectacular across the Imtech Arena.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen, send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen. God save the
And now the national anthem for Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, willkommen, welcome to the main event of the evening, the unification of the IBF, WBO, IBO, and WBA titles, 12 rounds of boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the BDB, President Thomas Woods, Supervisor Jean-Marcel Nards, IBF President Daryl J. Peoples, WBA President Gilberto Mendoza, WBO President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, and IBO President Ed Levine. At ringside, the three judges scoring this bout, Adelaide Bird, Stanley Christodoulou, and Michael Pernick. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee, Enero Gino Rodriguez. And now, for the thousands of fans in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with gold, officially weighing 110 kilograms or 242.6 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1996 and now, as a professional, in 58 fights, he has 55 victories, including 49 knockouts with 3 defeats. From Kiev, Ukraine, and Hamburg, Germany, the two-time world champion, reigning, defending, WBO, IBF, IBO, heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the Union Jack, official weight 96.5 kilograms or 212.8 pounds. His professional record in 26 fights, 25 victories, including 23 knockouts with only 1 defeat. He is the fighting pride of London, England, the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion and reigning, defending WBA heavyweight champion of the world, David Haye.
Well, the pleasantries, such as they have been, are over, and the real action is about to begin. All the way through those introductions, Wladimir Klitschko did not take his eyes off David Haye. A steely glare, Haye looking around at the crowd, who certainly won the cheering contest. Britain won, Ukraine 0 so far. Haye says that Klitschko is boring. He needs eradicating from the heavyweight division. Klitschko says that Haye needs a reality rehab.
Klitschko doesn't even want to go back to his own corner. He's still standing in the centre of the ring, staring at David Haye. I wonder, maybe will we see a little change in his personality tonight? Maybe he's just a little bit too angry. He seems to be simmering there below that glare.
Aggression from Klitschko could play into Haye's hands. Everything we've heard from that camp has said that he's going to make a fast start. Will that be the next bluff? Will he go on the run in the early stages against Klitschko? I wonder.
Let's go.
Here's final words.
All right, gentlemen, you got your instructions. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Now, touch him up. And God bless. Touch him up. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the touch gloves didn't quite shake hands, but the glove touch was done. Here we go then for the world heavyweight title. Wladimir Klitschko against David Haye. Who will it be? Who will be left standing at the end of the next 12 rounds, or maybe considerably shorter? Haye looking like a sprinter on his blocks as he stands in the corner. Klitschko just stares across the ring, brooding, intimidating. The first bell goes. Who will be first to strike? Who will be the first to command respect?
Well, Klitschko forcing Haye onto the back foot, which we expected the plan to be. Haye has to start quickly. A 2-stone weight advantage becomes more of a problem the longer a fight goes. So he really wants to hurt Klitschko at the earliest opportunity. Let him feel the power, even if it's on the arms, the shoulders, the top of the head. Let him feel the power that he has to deal with.
Both of them have that terrific knockout rate. Both of them genuinely heavy-handed, but the speed with the smaller man, who Klitschko says is a natural cruiserweight, David Haye. Haye wanting to prove that he is every inch a heavyweight.
Well, Klitschko is robotic, but his punches are not slow. He's careful, he's robotic, but when he lets the punches go, they are quick enough. And he does have that solid jab. It's not landing yet, but it's certainly keeping Haye occupied and backed up. Now that's just showing the strength and the power. Now that's the kind of tricks you would have expected from David Haye. Quite right, Wladimir, you're boxing someone away from home. Show him what it's all about. That's what he's done there.
We still wait for the first scoring punch, though, of this opening round. We've had the fall to the floor, or the throw to the floor, if you like. Haye certainly went down. Still, though, we wait for a meaningful shot.
He's getting the jab. Okay, they're not landing full power, but they've landed.
Haye inviting the shot, keeping the gloves low, relying on his reflexes, on his speed. A high-risk strategy, maybe. Here comes Haye trying to gamble as he comes in with those punches. A couple of jabs do get through from Klitschko.
Yep, Haye taking some chances now, that's what he has to do. But Klitschko is so good at just stepping back. He doesn't normally pull back from punches, he steps back. That's what he's doing. There's the jab again.
He hasn't found the big bomb yet, just having a look at Klitschko, just trying to work him out, see what the strategy is. Jab from Klitschko again did land as Haye was just caught off balance slightly.
Klitschko showing a nice little feint before he throws the jab to keeping Haye moving. There's the jab again. They're not landing full force, but the jabs are landing, and I think the jab is a little bit quicker than David Haye expected. As I say, this fellow's not ponderous, he's robotic, but his punches are quick enough.
Quiet opening round. Klitschko who extends that left-hand lead and then hits sometimes with deceptive power. Haye yet to land the big shot that he promised. He went through there with the big right hand, but Klitschko saw it coming, parried it, and there another big right hand off target, and the bell goes to end a fascinating opening round, but Klitschko landing more punches. Well, Klitschko worked away behind that jab, and here's Emmanuel Stewart speaking to him.
Head down, head, you're doing just right. Perfect.
Remember, the heavy shot, if you're going to throw it, has got to be after, and then do it.
Yeah.
Okay, now, switch him up, keep showing him something, twitch him, and then do a fast dip left, drop right. That's how you'll get into that range for that right hand. When you drop on that right hand side, when you do it, it's got to be quick. Okay. All right? Settle down.
I just felt his punching was a little bit wild in the opening round. He had to go for it. But I thought the jab, now that's what you do to fighters away from home. Grab hold, throw them to the floor, just show them who the strong guy is. He complained about it, I wish he hadn't complained about it. I wish he'd just got up, smiled and got on with the job, because you don't want to show the other fellow he's made an impact on you. But I thought Klitschko nicked the opening round.
Feels like Klitschko's away from home, such as the cacophony from the British fans here in Hamburg. The big man from the Ukraine on Jim's scorecard doing enough to take the opening round and working as ever behind that long left-hand jab. Good shot.
Landing. Haye knew it, said beforehand, I have to deal with the jab. Well, he's not dealing with it because I think it's a little bit quicker than they expected.
He bangs his gloves together, perhaps in a little sign of exasperation, maybe just trying to invite Klitschko in. Remember, Haye believes that he has the power, the one big shot that he can land to change the face of heavyweight boxing. He was closer then with the right hand.
But the jab is a problem for him. And Klitschko is so good at nullifying. If he misses with the jab, he pushes Haye to the side. The jab is just keeping Haye occupied, not allowing Wheeler to set anything up of his own.
Neither of these men have lost since 2004. Both, of course, very much better fighters than they were then.
Klitschko hasn't even thought about a right-hand punches yet. Again, see, he is having to leap in with the punches because of the reach difference. So the snap is gone, his feet were almost off the floor with that right hand. This is so awkward for him. This guy is so awkward to deal with. Haye missing wildly again.
But one punch, Haye believes, is all it takes. He can wait and wait. As long as this fight goes, Haye, the haymaker punch, he has that. But there's the right hand for the first time from Klitschko.
I think it's a real positive start from Klitschko. I didn't really expect Haye to try to grab the centre of the ring against a 2-stone heavier guy. But he's punching, he's off balance when he's trying to throw the punches. He can't box his way close. A backhander there from Klitschko.
At last, Haye does get through with the left-hand lead. Beat Klitschko to the punch there. And the roar from the crowd, they knew that just the first psychological shot, maybe, from Haye, and he wasn't too far away with that overhand right.
But I tell you, Klitschko's movement is good for such a giant. He's pulling away from Haye's punches. I mean, Haye's boxing is all over the place at the moment. You'll have to find just a little bit of kind of solidness about his punching. Out of range again there. Oh, good right hand.
Good shot. Best punch of the fight so far from Klitschko. Haye takes it well, though. He's got his gloves low, contemptuously, maybe just trying to sucker the big man in so that he can land one of those big shots. That's the right hand which just missed the back of the head. That's the one that Johnny Nelson was talking about before the fight started. If one of those lands, you have no answer to it.
See, Haye can't get close enough. He's having to leap in with the punches, so we'll not see the power that we used to see from him. I think that was another good round for Klitschko.
Haye has yet to find the bombs. He's got a problem to solve. Here's what Adam Booth's got to say to it.
You okay? Yeah, cold towel my back. Jay, cold towel. Listen to me, listen. Don't get stuck in one place for a few at a time.
I think we're seeing some real good technique from Wladimir Klitschko here, showing little feints, keeping David Haye occupied, and the way he steps away from the attacks of Haye. There's the jab landing. He's thrown the right hand for the first time, and I think Haye is a little bit troubled that he's not dealing with the jab, and the fact that he's having to leap in with his punches. His feet are off the floor at the time he's throwing it, so we're not seeing the power that we saw in the shots that floored John Ruiz.
Third round, 2 rounds, we reckon, so far to the big Ukrainian Wladimir Klitschko. Haye has yet to turn this into the fight that he promised. He's not been able to find the big shot to gain the respect of Klitschko so far.
See, Klitschko's so clever, he extends the left arm before he throws the jab, so only has like 6 inches to move. And Haye not dealing with that. And if he tries to get inside the arm, he just uses it to push him towards the floor. It's an awkward technique, but he has really perfected it, and it's so difficult to deal with.
He has come off the floor in the past to win fights. There's the right hand, that's his best punch of the fight so far. And Haye did land that time.
And Klitschko grab hold. That's what he does automatically. It was a good shot, and it forced him to grab hold. Much better from Haye.
At last, he's found the range. He said he would make the robot malfunction. In the third round, are the cogs just starting to turn?
Yep, Klitschko just looking a little bit more clumsy than he was earlier. That's shaking him up a little bit.
He knows now at first hand that Haye does have power in those fists. That right hand, quite definitely Haye's best scoring shot of the fight so far.
Yep, sneaked a right hand back home of his own. Klitschko didn't land full force, thankfully.
Interesting third round. See the concentration on the face of Klitschko. Pro since 1996, so much experience.
Yeah, he's taken the play away from Haye again. He's got his head back together again. His composure back. But his own hands are dropping already. Klitschko carrying him very low. A little bit of marking on his nose there, just below his right eye. So something's landing from Haye. This is better from Haye. Don't know that he's winning the round, but his work is better. And Klitschko not looking quite so dominant.
Blood around the nose of Klitschko, the left hand there. Caught him off balance. Good shot again from Haye, but then now back comes Klitschko. And the action is really starting to heat up here in this third round.
Well, good character showing there from Klitschko, answering the good attack from Haye. So he's not phased. Haye getting himself into the fight now.
The left-hand lead from Haye. He took time just to take a little look at Klitschko, but he's right into it here. And now he's forced to the ground, and referee Gino Rodriguez saying to him, just watch on that. And you can hardly hear from the boos of the crowd the bell to end the third round, and a dramatic round. Best round of the fight so far. Well, there was some real heavy leather landed in this third round, Jim.
Yeah, some good work from Haye in that round. Thankfully, he took away, you know, that kind of smoothness from Klitschko. But I still think Klitschko come back. Probably that was the best punch of the round. I still feel like Klitschko answered pretty much everything that David threw. But the main thing is David's got himself into the fight. He is the one improving it, but this is the answer from Klitschko, and he did land several jabs along the way in that round.
You scored that round to Klitschko, Jim. May well be, though, that Haye has impressed the judges with some of the big shots that he landed with that third round. Certainly there's a more confident and jaunty air about Haye as he came out of the corner at the start of this fourth.
Yeah, well, he's in the fight now, and he's making Klitschko look, which is very important, because of this fight done a good right hand from Klitschko, but Haye taking it well. That's a couple of full-blooded shots he's taken, and he's taken them well.
Just got the glove up to deflect the power of that right hand from Klitschko. Good reactions from Haye. That's the makings of a really good fight, this one. Certainly not the chess match that we've seen sometimes in the past from Klitschko's performances. Here he's got a man against him who genuinely believes he can win it. And Haye was saying to Klitschko there, come on then, come on, get in, have a go. And blood again coming from the right nostril of the Ukrainian.
We're actually seeing Klitschko pressurising. We never see him pressurising. He hangs around waiting for opportunities to present. He's gone looking for them tonight. So I think he's gone in here hot-headed tonight, but not making any blatant mistakes so far.
Haye unmarked so far. He's taken everything that Klitschko has been able to land on him. Klitschko's jab has been an irritant rather than something which is clearly winning in the fight. And Haye still looks brimful of confidence.
Yeah, he's showing little feints, trying to get inside the jab. He's not quite doing it yet. He knows what he's trying to do. So he's using a little bit of imagination, trying something different, just not quite beginning to work for him as yet.
You cannot take your eyes off this one for a second. You just sense that one big punch at any moment could be decisive in either direction. Haye trying to leap in behind that right hand, but he was wide of the target again.
Yeah, he's missing quite wildly again. Again, Klitschko has that smoothness back, he has his head back together. Not really inflicting any damage, Klitschko, but he's winning this round as far as it goes, trying the right hand. Haye again with the right hand.
Haye bobbing and weaving so quick. A lot of these punches that Klitschko's throwing off target, but that one most definitely did thud into the face of Haye.
But he hasn't really produced in this round. He's been kept under control, really, a couple of wild-looking right hands. But no, and he's complaining to the referee again, which you don't want to see. The jab, he's not dealing with the jab, that's his main problem.
That's the right hand from Haye, though, over the top. Klitschko went with the punch, took the force away from it.
Yeah, but Klitschko stepping straight back up again. Anytime he has landed a punch, he's straight back up again, trying to intimidate. Good shot.
Big complaint from Haye as well about use of the elbow in the closing seconds of that round. Haye landed a right hand right on the bell and back to the corner. How much was Klitschko stunned by that one? There's marking under the right eye, blood coming from the right nostril. Haye was receiving them, but there you see he's thrown more, but Klitschko's landed more. Here's what Emmanuel Stewart's saying.
Not the bravest guy, but he's getting away with the fight because you're not pressuring him enough. You got to start stepping to him a little bit more. You understand? You got to pick up the pace a little bit more now. You're giving him too much room. You know, he threw a wild.
Well, I just think he took too long to get into the fight in that round. He produced some terrific stuff, some traumatic stuff in the last half minute or so, but he took too long. By that time, I thought he had lost the round. But there we go again. Every time he lands, he forces Klitschko onto the defensive, onto the back foot.
Klitschko's put a lot into his work so far. Remember the Lamont Brewster fight where he was ahead and then just dramatically ran out of gas in the 5th round, and Brewster wound up with one of the big heavyweight upsets. And I just sense that Klitschko is feeling the pace here.
Yeah, you were you'll probably see him with a presence in front of Haye, but not throwing so many punches. He's still standing there, looking for opportunities, trying the right hand now.
He's looking to knock Haye out, no doubt about it. He's going looking for him here. Klitschko is gambling. He's trying to load up, and again, Clay, listen to me, saying Clay taunts him. It's reminiscent of Clay. It was Clay-type taunting from Haye. Once again, he's got his arms low, contemptuously, and he's talking to Klitschko.
He's making
Muhammad
Klitschko
Ali, Cassius Clay style.
He's trying to draw some of the steam out of him. He's offering target, but pulling it away at the last second, trying to draw mistakes from him. I think Haye maybe fancies in the second half of this fight, if Klitschko does go tired, as he could well do, that the fight is his, because Haye still looks strong-legged, he looks quick. He's not producing so much in the way of punching at the moment, but I don't think he's bothered about that, as long as he's making this big fellow work.
It's all been at range so far, not too much inside, not too much close quarter exchanges. Haye trying to land that big right-hand bomb. Klitschko still going looking for him, looking to force the pace.
Yeah, Klitschko's legs still looking springy, still able to step back from the attacks from Haye. Haye's maybe just taking too long in the rounds to get himself into it. The jab, which they felt sure they could deal with, I don't think they have dealt with it. I think it's a quicker jab than they expected.
He's not done a lot in this round so far. We're going to see some big bombs coming again in the closing minute. Klitschko has been the aggressor, the man on the front foot. Two lands simultaneously, didn't they?
Yep, trading. We're into the last minute of the round again. David has it. Oh, good right hand!
Good shot from Klitschko. Haye this time wants to hold on. How much damage has that done?
Well, nothing wrong with Haye's chin. We worried about could he take a full body shot at heavyweight, and this is the way David Haye responds when he's hurt. True warrior.
He has fighting heart, and they're pulling down Klitschko. That's what the Haye camp were worried about. And there's blood now from the nose of David Haye.
Well, that was the big punch we were worried about. He took it, and he came firing back. He's losing the round again, but how important was that?
Well, bravery from Haye, but for the first time, maybe he was really hurt, I think, by that shot. Coming back on instinct, again dragged down by the left hand of Klitschko. Referee lets the action continue. That's a big round for Klitschko. Well, he invited him in, didn't he? And he responded.
Go back, let the punches go. When he comes in, hit with a check hook. Don't just jump back and then go back and wait. You got to let punches go. You understand? You jab and jab and jab. You got to let the shots go. You got them all out of balance, but you're not throwing enough punches at him. And you pick it up a little bit more. Because the fight is close. Every round he lands a big punch, and the crowd goes.
Here's one of the big attacks from Klitschko. There's that right hand.
I don't think he'll catch David any cleaner than he did with that one. That was a beautiful punch. Okay, David was trying to pull away from it, but that was the full force punch, and he took it and he came firing back straight away. But it wasn't a good round for Haye. Took too long to get started, and when he did get started, and this was the result, walked onto that right hand.
Well, he bobbed and weaved on the ropes, though, showed that fighting instinct, that fighting heart of Haye. We move into the 6th round. Both men have landed big shots. Klitschko's going looking for him again. Emmanuel Stewart said, let the punches flow now.
He's looking for the right hand. I've never seen him use the right hand as early as this in a contest, unless he's been in total control. He's taking chances, looking for the knockout. So we are looking for some slips, some big mistakes. He is pushed onto his heels, which loses the power in his punches.
Concentration on the face of Wladimir Klitschko.
I mean, I think Klitschko has been quite brilliant so far with his tactics. You know, he stood in front of Haye, hasn't backed off, he hasn't looked reticent as he sometimes is in fights. He's marched forward. This is really as good a Klitschko performance as I've seen. I wish he hadn't saved it for tonight.
But Haye has the power. One shot, maybe, can force him back into this. Klitschko starts to open up again.
Klitschko's not allowing Haye again to set anything up. He's keeping him occupied, even if the jab's not landing. See a bruise in David's head, but it stops David from setting anything up. He can't nudge his way forward to get the power into the punch. I really feel Klitschko is boxing well at the moment. David has to come up with a big shot to knock some of this confidence out of him.
There's the left hand, right hand from Klitschko, and there's a mark underneath his left eye, which has worsened a little bit, and he pulls Haye down again. Looking tired now, David Haye, got up to his feet a little bit slowly. Klitschko wants to get right underway again, but the referees say, tidy it up.
Well, if you have a two-stone weight advantage, then you have to use it, and that's exactly what Klitschko's doing. The referee is fairly lenient. He hasn't really told him about it. That's the first time. But it's a natural reaction from Klitschko. It's to stop the other fellow throwing punches. It's not to push him to the floor. It's to stop him throwing punches. That's at the back of his mind all the time.
You sense at this stage that Haye needs something big to get himself back into this.
He's not been allowed to do anything. I just think Klitschko has controlled the range so well, and he's so quick. That little step back whenever Haye loads something up, so Haye has to leap in with the shot. He sees Haye setting himself, and that little half step back just takes it away from Haye. This is not dramatic at the moment, but it's good calculated boxing from Klitschko.
Good right hand again from Klitschko. Haye has to absorb it. His chin has looked good so far, but he looks disorganised as he swung off balance there. And another round for Wladimir Klitschko. Let's get the thoughts at the halfway stage of Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, Klitschko's definitely putting his weight on him, and he's controlling the range. But David Haye needs to get in there and throw more punches. He needs to get closer to Klitschko and not allow him to put his weight on him. While he's coming in with his 2 punches, he needs to be coming in with 4 or 5 punches, combination punching, and working his jab. He's had results, as you can see. Klitschko's got a cut over his left nose, so, you know, if Haye hits him a little bit more, he may have even better results. But he has to throw the punches, and he has to get to Klitschko.
Well, this is where we think the cut might have happened.
Yeah, that's where they traded jabs there. But then Klitschko again landing the better shots, stopping Haye from doing anything. Really, it's a real competent performance up to now from Wladimir Klitschko.
Halfway stage of the fight. A lot of people thought it would be all over by now.
Well, I don't think too many people expected Haye to be able to take the right hand he took. But it shows he has the power. I've given everything to Haye. The third round was close. Haye landed some big punches, but I've given everything to Klitschko. I think even in the decent rounds, Haye has taken too long to get himself into it.
The third round, I think the only one you could have given to David Haye so far. And the British fans who've come over here in their thousands, a bit subdued. Haye gambling again and once more forced down to the canvas and complaining.
Yeah, I wonder if David is going down a little bit too easy.
He's having a point. He's having a point taken away. So much for this referee being on Klitschko's side, on his case. And I think rightly taking the point away.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this was smart also from David. I don't know if he made the best of it a little bit. They kind of collapsed down. But that's good. That gets him back into the fight. Gives him something to build on, hopefully.
That's the jab and hold tactics and pushing the man down that the Haye camp had been worried about. And they thought that the referee wouldn't penalise Klitschko. Well, now he has.
Yeah, Klitschko will have to be careful because any more of it, you're talking points deductions. And then David complaining again. There was nothing to complain about there. I think Klitschko just pushed his head with the inside of the glove, but hardly worth complaining about.
He's still needing something purposeful to get him back into the fight. Yet to land any sort of big attack in this 7th round. Hasn't really had big moments in this fight since the 3rd. Interestingly for our American commentator colleagues, George Foreman, is scoring this rather differently to how we're seeing it. Foreman has the fight level. That's a good shot from Haye, that's better.
I'm just wondering with the points deduction, I don't think Haye is doing enough so far to make it a 10-8 round. He's still looking for that single shot to turn things around. Can't really get any rhythm into his boxing. Still, the jab is his main problem. Looking to the referee again, Haye.
The right hand was blocked by the forearm by Klitschko, who's very adept at doing that. Too much clean, though, has landed from the Ukrainian in this round. Haye with the point deduction, remember, and it might be that he's won this round as well.
Yeah, he's won the round, definitely won the round, but I wouldn't make it a 10-8 round.
Working away on the cut on the cheek of Klitschko, and there's the point deduction.
Yeah, well, he's been warned a couple of times. Manny Stewart is over at the referee as we're talking, and I think he's maybe along the lines of the David Haye making the most of things. David has tried to catch the referee's eye a couple of times, and Manny Stewart putting his point across that maybe exaggerated the foul a little bit. If he did, well, it's a rough business. Well done, David. You have a round in my card, and at an important time in the contest. Little signs of tiredness, the way he slumped to the floor a couple of times.
I just wonder if the judges might score that 10-8, in which case, if you make the third round to Haye as well, then there would not be a great deal in it. If you score it that way, then it's only 4 rounds to 3 in Klitschko's favour.
Klitschko trying to whip up the jab from his knees. Maybe trying to bring it from an angle that Haye can't quite see. Haye really has to get some rhythm into his work, has to be able to put punches together. I've always felt that Klitschko has a style which is so difficult to deal with, and I think Haye hasn't really realised that until he's been in there with the guy.
Haye, though, still looks sharp. He's still proving, or trying to prove, an elusive target, and just saying to Klitschko, come on, let's see what you've got. Trying to sucker the big man in and trying to get him to walk on to one of those big punches.
He landing a jab to the body, but still not able to set any powerful combinations together. Get the body again, this is better.
Better indeed. It was a 10-8 round. I suppose that would make it a 2-point margin in Klitschko's favour, maybe. It was an awkward one to second-guess the judges. Looking to jab to the body.
Yeah, but Klitschko's jab's just a little bit out of range. Listen with the right. Another body shot landing, not quite the shot he intended, I don't feel. He's just finding it so difficult, Haye, to set up a proper attack, the attack that he's famed for, you know, combinations, the powerful combinations. He's just finding it so difficult, finding the body again, Haye.
Two very good heavyweights. That's what you have to say from this one.
Well, this is the best Klitschko fight I've seen. It's got drama, it's got excitement, and skill as well. No, I think David have to stop this. I think the referee's going to get annoyed at him. I mean, that was a piece of nonsense. The crowd, they feel the same way.
Well, that's what Emmanuel Stewart was protesting at. Vitaly Klitschko, I can see, calling from the corner. That's just to say that was not within the rules, no way.
Klitschko not produced any drama this time.
He slipped that shot well.
I think Haye is beginning to feel the size of the job physically now. The jab from Klitschko. We thought by the halfway stage that he would begin to take over. I wonder, is he going to be the one struggling? Some good moments in this round. Just a little bit wild again. He is the one who's frustrated, that's the problem.
Tried to throw punches with a little bit of desperation. David Haye, boos and jeers from both corners and from both sets of fans. The corners protesting through the round, particularly the Klitschko corner. And there's the tale of the stats. And Klitschko, the way we're seeing it at ringside, at least our stats men, he has landed very many more punches.
Yeah, and he's looked the boss, and I think his tactics have been perfect. From the opening bell, he's walked straight up and stood in front of Haye, not allowed Haye to display the power that we know he has. Haye hasn't really landed a punch that you'd expect to trouble Klitschko. He's not come onto his heels a couple of times, but hasn't really hurt him. And that's because he's not been allowed to set the attacks up. He's always on his toes, he's always on the move, so he's not generating the power. And I think he's beginning to feel how heavy this job is becoming.
4 rounds remaining. Again, you feel a key stage of the fight, and Haye needs a big one.
I think we're going to come to a point where Haye's just going to have to say, right, kamikaze stuff, if you want to call it that. I just have to start going for this. He's waiting for opportunities. He's trying to counter the jab. He hasn't managed it in 8 rounds, so I think he's going, that's the start. That's what we want. Take chances. Step in with the punches.
Good punch from Haye. And a half smile from Klitschko in recognition of the power that it generated. Can Haye now follow up? Long, long lead of Klitschko, the 3-inch reach advantage, remember. Neither fighter looking as though they're going to touch the canvas so far, both of them supposedly chinny, taking the big shots well.
I think Klitschko's looking for the right hand, he's just playing with the jab, just trying to pin Haye down to get the right hand. There it goes. It was a little bit obvious, that's what he had in his mind. I'm sure David spotted it.
Yep, half blocked it and swayed with the punch, Haye, taking the impact out of it. Well, we said before the fight began it was going to be edge of the seat stuff, and it still is, as Klitschko now tries to go to work again.
And you saw the speed in Klitschko's punches there. We've said before, he's robotic, he's careful, but he's not ponderous. His punches are quick. And the jab has been very effective tonight. Just kept Haye off balance for a lot of the time here.
There's the pull around the back of the neck, and this time the referee is having a word with David Haye.
I mean,
and it's Haye who's now on dangerous ground.
He's going to have to be careful, because if you keep doing that, the referee's going to look upon it as a foul and deduct a point from yourself. It worked once, leave it at that.
Been the one big shot so far in this round from Haye. Most of the rest of it, most of the rest of the aggression has come from the big Ukrainian.
Yeah, landing the jab there. He's just, Haye again not doing enough to win the round. Good work from Klitschko, just stopping him in his tracks. I don't know if he claimed that was the inside of the glove, or maybe more of a push than a punch.
Back of the hand from Klitschko. Haye protested instantly, knew that he'd been wronged, and the referee was on top of it.
There's that jab, which still Haye can't find an answer to. Leading with the right hand, Klitschko, we don't see that too often.
Indicative maybe of the growing confidence of the older man. Haye wild with that right over the top and punished with the right hand.
I've never seen David Haye throw so many wild punches. He is the one becoming frustrated here.
Just 3 rounds remaining for David Haye to fulfill what he believes is his destiny.
One down, let's go, let's go. Don't tell you again, let's go down. Down, down, down.
Haye was made to miss wildly on occasion.
See, John, he can't set himself, he can't box his way into range, because the jab hits him every time he tries to do that. So he's having to swing from out of range. So even when he does land, the power that we're used to seeing from him is not there. But look at Klitschko, he puts the hand forward so it doesn't have as far to move. And he just can't seem to find an answer to that prodding, thumping jab.
There's 3 rounds remaining. Only 2 of Klitschko's last 13 fights have gone the distance. That's what Jim reckons, Klitschko by 5. I've got it maybe just a little closer than that. But Haye's got to finish strong. Of that you can be absolutely sure.
I don't see any sign of tiredness in Klitschko. There he's leading with that right hand again. I think Klitschko feels he's in the lead, so he'll probably go into careful mode now. He'll just be trying the long punches, won't want to get involved. But nice little feints for him as well. I think we're seeing a lot of skill in Klitschko's work tonight. The way he's kept Haye under control for so long in some of the rounds.
For our American commentators, George Foreman still has this one level.
Well, you see what you see, but I can't say I agree with that.
The British fans are trying to implore David Haye onto higher levels of endeavour.
Haye still can't find the range, that little half step back that Klitschko has perfected. I mean, he really has mastered a style that is so difficult to deal with. Every heavyweight he's faced, I've looked at tapes, think they can do it. I think the Haye camp have thought exactly the same, but haven't done it as yet.
His mouth just a little bruised now. Blood from the nostrils as well. A lot of these punches have stacked up to create the damage. There's a right hand over the top, and Haye protesting about being dragged down. The referee, I think, is saying that he was the one responsible for that. Haye shakes his head.
But the problem, John, Haye is lunging in with the punches, so he is off balance already. If he was nudging in with the punches, moving in with the punches, it wouldn't happen. But he's leaping in, he's off balance, so when Klitschko leans on him, he's on the floor. So he has to accept some of the responsibility, although Klitschko is guilty of it.
I wonder if there'll be grumbles come the final bell from the Haye camp about that. One suspects there may well be. Having to eat an awful lot of these jabs now, David Haye.
It's just a cagey round from Klitschko. He's not looking to hurt David, he's not looking to finish. He's just popping away, so maybe he's beginning to feel the pace, maybe accepting the fact that he's going to take him the distance. That was a good jab from Klitschko.
Haye lunging in, trying to find the big bombs, but then just not coming on target.
I mean, for a man with David Haye's skills, I think we'll have to hand it to Klitschko, the way he has him frustrated, just not knowing how to get himself into
Great shot from Klitschko. Haye takes it well, though. Well, I tell you what, he has answered some questions about his chin tonight. Could not hear the bell there to end that round. That was a big, big right hand from Klitschko, landed flush, and Haye took it.
You got to pick it up, though. The left hook, you're not throwing it at all. You don't have to throw it that hard, okay? We got 2 rounds. This fight could be either way, man. You haven't dominated here. I mean, you've got him tired, but you have an extra. Let the left hook score. Don't matter the land.
Well, you hear Emmanuel Stewart there saying you've not dominated. You need to throw the left hook, and it could be either way. So maybe Haye is still right in this. They're certainly trying to get Klitschko on his mettle.
Well, I can't really make a case for Haye because he's not frustrating Klitschko. He's not putting like a good 20-second burst together. He's landing the odd punch, and you can see here thumping round the back of the head. All the signs of frustration. Some of the rounds are not great. They're not dominated by Klitschko, but I find it difficult to score them to Haye because he can't really string anything together.
Time is ticking down for David Haye to fulfill his dream. 6 minutes remaining in what he threatened might be his last fight. He has to find something dramatic and needs to dominate these last 2 rounds.
Klitschko with that little feint again. There, the jab, snapping it out now. no signs of stamina.
Well, he's getting up to the knockdown.
That's nonsense. But I think, do you know what? I think that's the referee's becoming frustrated as well. I mean, Haye is going over far too easily. Everything he does is off balance, and that's the reason he keeps going over. But that's a knockdown. It was a push by the inside of the glove, but the referee's decided it's a knockdown. So, really, does not help the case of David Haye. If he thought he needed a knockout before he came here, I would say he certainly needs one now.
Well, Haye now has got to fight on animal courage and on instinct. The way I'm looking at this, and certainly the way Jim's looking at it, Klitschko has to be knocked out now if David Haye is going to win this fight.
Well, John, I think we're entitled to disagree with the referee. He called that a knockdown, but no way, it wasn't a legal punch. So, I mean, I don't see that we have to be guided by that and score this heavily for Klitschko.
I have seen judges ignore that in the past. Not always are they obligated to necessarily make that a 10-8 round. I've seen them go against that.
But David Haye just cannot set anything up whatsoever. It's just wild swings. I think he's going to have to do that from now to the final bell if we get there, and the hope that one of these big punches can do the job, because he needs a knockout.
It's going to be absolutely vital as to how the judges see that one. If they're giving that a 10-8 round, then Klitschko now is easing his way towards victory. The British fans are chanting for David Haye, imploring him to find the big punch.
John, I got the good right hand from Klitschko. Back comes Haye. But I got the feeling that the referee punished Haye for that knockdown count, as though he knew he tumbled to the floor on purpose. So he punished him and called it a knockdown. I don't think he had any right doing that, but no way was it a legal punch.
Haye's work and conditioning, though, has carried him through here and kept him in this fight, because Klitschko has landed some terrific shots, bang on the chin, and Haye, supposedly so brittle, has taken them all and still is in there pitching. Closing seconds of the penultimate round, Haye, disorganised and wild, goes lunging in, falls to the canvas once more, and there's the bell. Just 3 minutes remain. Wladimir beforehand said that he would finish Haye and punish him and knock him out in the 12th round. He said he would give him the full distance of humiliation and that he would end it in the 12th round. Will he be as good as his word? There's how we've got it. Klitschko landing twice as many punches, better success rate, similar work rate, but the accuracy with the big Ukrainian.
Yeah, I can't make a case, really, for Haye having this any closer than I have it. Now, no way should that ever have been scored a knockdown. Okay, you saw the reaction of Wladimir putting his hands up to say, what is going on here? You know, you watch, and then straight away Haye is complaining, but no way should that have been called a knockdown. That was a disgraceful piece of refereeing. And to be honest, it wasn't even that bad a push. Maybe a point deduction I would have agreed with, not a knockdown.
The two-touch gloves. Bit of respect at last. I think probably they always did respect each other as fighters. 3 minutes remain. Haye, we think, needs a knockout. Klitschko, I think, has been sent out by his brother and by Emmanuel Stewart, being told, OK, you're ahead on points, now finish this guy.
You know, I think he's better doing that, because the worst thing you want to do is coast the final round against a destructive puncher like David Haye. He needs one chance, that's all he needs. You know, you should go to win the round, go to keep him under control. If he's not in the fight, don't open the door and let him in the fight. And Klitschko standing his ground. A good right hand from Haye.
That's what he needed, and he needs more of them. Needs to follow it up now. And it's Klitschko this time who's holding on, trying to buy a few minutes, and he's looking unsteady. Haye knows it, and he's bundled to the ground again. Get up, says the referee. Haye there was forced down.
Klitschko's hurt.
Klitschko is in trouble from that right hand, but he's bought precious seconds, used his experience, now going looking for Haye, who tries to urge him in, saying, come on, let's have more of it. And Klitschko only too happy to oblige. Can Haye somewhere find the big punch he needs?
Well, we still have a minute and a half to go. He's shown that he does have the power. He found out too late against Wladimir. but he's fine again in the 12th round. He must give it everything here. He's still in here with a great chance.
The partisan crowd bellowing their support for both men. Both of them have landed big shots in this final round. Now it's Klitschko on top.
Maybe that attack has taken something out of David. I mean, this guy, we have to remember, 2 stone weight advantage. I think David was shaken by that shot.
Stopped him in his tracks with that left hand, right hand, the 1-2 from Klitschko. There's the wild shot from Haye as we move into the final minute of this dramatic fight here in Hamburg. And Haye this time told off by the referee. Haye needs another big shot from somewhere.
And he goes for it. He just has to caution to the wind, just throw punches non-stop for the next 40 seconds or so. Just really go for it. He needs it. He can't be expected that he's ahead here.
Klitschko with his gloves held low, he's feeling the pace, and Haye senses it. He senses still, with less than 30 seconds remaining, that he can find the big shot. Klitschko looks tired. They've both given so much. Both have had their tins tested. Both have taken everything, and it is surely now going to go to the final bell. It's going to go to the judges' cards, and we haven't had a tremendous fight here in Hamburg. And both of them trying to throw bombs right to the final bell. Both of them raise their arms. Klitschko celebrates. Haye, perhaps more out of optimism than belief, raises his hand. Klitschko celebrates with the look of a winner. Well, if Haye has lost there, what a brave effort it was in that final round. Vitaly Klitschko over in that corner, remonstrating with the Haye corner, and particularly remonstrating with the referee.
Yeah, well, I mean, the referee made some good decisions tonight, but some very poor ones, I felt. But I think with another opponent who thought maybe they had solved out Wladimir Klitschko with a plan beforehand, but when they get in there, they just find how difficult it is to make an impression on this guy and how to deal with the physical attributes he had. I'm pretty clear. I've only given David 2 rounds, but okay, you maybe see some of the rounds close to the 3rd round. Maybe I could have given to David, but there's no question in my mind Klitschko's won the fight, and I'm not too bothered with the points there.
Haye landed a stunning right hand in that last round, and he really shook Klitschko right the way down to his boots, and from then on Klitschko wanted to hold on and he forced Haye to the ground. Now, was this another foul? Should points have been deducted here, I wonder? He was certainly holding on and trying to buy time, and he had really been rocked by that shot in the last round.
Yeah, but I think it's just a great pity Haye didn't land more big shots a little bit earlier in the fight. It was just a little bit too little, too late. And when you have the experience, the stats there pretty clearly.
99 to 57, Jim. You know, I mean, if that's the way the judges have seen it, then that really tells its own story. It's very hard to make a case for David Haye for having won that fight, or indeed have got close to winning that fight.
Well, the fact that Manny Stewart was worried at the end of the 10th round, saying you know you got to pick up the work rate, and the fact that George Foreman had it level at a time when we had Klitschko comfortably ahead. People see what they see, so we can still hope maybe the judges saw the American way. But really, I thought Klitschko's tactics were spot on. I think he controlled David Haye for most of the action, caused David Haye to throw wild, swinging punches, never allowed him to set anything up, never allowed him really to use his power. I thought it was an excellent performance.
Wladimir and his brother Vitaly, it would have taken a very good fighter indeed, particularly maybe Vitaly, to have beaten them convincingly. Wladimir has had his moments when he struggled in the past, but he's been undefeated for a long time now, since 2004, a dominant figure in the heavyweight division. David Haye had his moments, he gave everything, but maybe he just couldn't get the respect in the early stages that he'd said he was going to. It was the 3rd round before he really landed anything meaningful.
Yeah, and I think the jab, he could never get inside the jab. That was the problem. You have to get inside Klitschko's jab, and David was never able to do it, so you had to throw punches from out of range. He had to leap in with the punches, which was one of the reasons, you know, he kept losing his balance and going over with a little bit of help from Wladimir at the same time.
There must be about 100 people in that ring. I hope the foundations are good. Michael Buffer's right in front of us, waiting to give the judges scores, being told by the German commentators, please wait, don't give the result yet. The fans would like to have it. Anxious wait for both men. Wladimir Klitschko couldn't get the 50th knockout that he promised, but in his 59th professional fight, has he now satisfied the Klitschko dream and won the WBA title to add to the IBF and the WBO? Remember that Vitali is the WBC champion as well. They said it was their dream to have all titles. Here we go.
118, 108. Stanley Cristodulo, 116 to 110. All three judges scored it unanimously to the winner. Now the unified world champion, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
Despondency for David Haye. Maybe the optimism of the commentators, some of them at ringside who hoped he was closer, have not been realised, and Wladimir Klitschko has proved emphatically, as there's respect at last, he has proved emphatically that he is a very, very worthy champion, and he prevailed with the superior tactics and dominated it on the scorecards just the way that you saw it, Jim.
Yeah, but I think David Haye can be proud of his effort. We have to remember his feet. Look, he's come up from cruiserweight, he came in light tonight, having over the cruiserweight limit, and he's taken a man who has dominated the heavyweight division for the last 7 years or so, gave him a few frights along the way, could never deal with the physical disadvantages. You cannot give 2 stones away to a fighter as good as Wladimir Klitschko. David Haye did it. He gave us a tremendous night, and it's the best fight I've ever seen Wladimir Klitschko involved in. It's been a wonderful night's entertainment. Everyone's had their money's worth, and David can hold his head high. He's a 2-weight world champion, and he'll be held in high esteem.
I felt I could get past his. I felt I could get past his shots. I thought I could make him miss and make him pay, but I couldn't push off my right leg. I broke my toe about 3 weeks ago. I've been giving it local anaesthetics in the gym on hitting the mitts. That's why I stopped sparring a lot earlier than I would have done. I didn't let anybody know that, but I'll show you my toe now. It's busted, and you know I couldn't explode off. I didn't have my haymaker, wasn't there. My haymaker's my right punch, and I couldn't push off my right foot to land that shot. It's really frustrating. There's nothing worse than seeing his chin there, trying to throw it and falling short because I couldn't explode off.
You did say, though, beforehand that you were physically perfect and that you would annihilate Wladimir.
I was hoping that the local anaesthetic I had in my toe would be enough. Have a look at my toe now. I'll take my shoe off. You can see I've actually broke my toe there. It's absolutely excruciating. I can't. There's nothing you can do for a broken toe.
Did that upsettle the game plan? Because you seemed out of range.
I was out of range. Normally I'm out of range, I'm fine. I can slip his punches and I can leap in and land my right hand. I couldn't push off this back leg. If you look, I've tried to push off. My toe's broken, and there's nothing I could have done. I was hoping with the adrenaline in the crowd I'd be able to just ignore it and push through it. But every time I went to push off, it's like my body was it wouldn't explode off my right leg, so I couldn't land my right hand. It was really frustrating because I could see his chin there.
You did seem to rattle him in the third, and then in the 12th you ran out of time.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I can't put it back in, Adam. It's just one of those things. You know, I did everything I could do. You know, he landed some big shots on me, but I think I proved my chin. You know, he's one of the hardest punchers in the world. He landed flush on my chin a few times. I felt physically I'm in great shape. I just can't push off my right foot to land my right hand. It was so frustrating. Been the biggest fight of my life. This is it, the biggest boxing match in years, and this happened. You know, we was thinking about pulling out, but there was no way after all the good fans have paid so much money to come over here. I could not pull out.
Wladimir Klitschko, after all the huge build-up and the expectation, did that go exactly according to plan?
That would be awesome to knock David Haye out. And It was the same situation. I've been criticized by David Haye after Ibragimov fight, and I had the same situation after 3 rounds. David Haye basically gave up with the strategy, and he was very cautious. It was very difficult to hit, same way as Ibragimov. I didn't get really challenged in the ring in the way of offensive fight. Let's get me, let's get in the fight. Instead, he was fighting like all of them, like all of my recent opponents, and I would have loved to celebrate my 50th knockout, so that means I have to postpone it then.
He never shook the hand before, but he gave you plenty of respect afterwards. Have you proved that you're just the better man?
I wish I could prove it with knockout of David Haye. I still not be okay with his behavior before the fight. It's definitely disgraceful to the boxing fans, to the sport of boxing, the way the man behaved himself. And right now, after the fight, I think the fight talks himself. See, he's been criticizing all of the opponents, and also including myself, for being whatever, fighter cautious, but they were more cautious of any other fighters by David Haye, and not actually from 49 fighters that have been trying to the fight. He was very fast, and I didn't get the real and true challenge that I have opportunity to knock him out.
Were you hurt at all in the 3rd round or at the end in the 12th?
He connected a couple of punches. I wasn't hurt in any of the fight, of the situation of the fight, and I've been continuing to fight the way I've been fighting all 12 rounds. And there was, as I said before, the same situation like in the previous fighters that fought. They're trying in the first rounds and they're very cautious afterwards. That was exactly what David Haye did. He criticized all of them, but he got it in the same situation, and he'd been actually scaring fighting.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.